Alright, so I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to go pan by pan. I have these troops that are mounted and ready to paint, stored in cake pans, so I'll just work my way through them here. This first group are all minifigs. Older figures from the mid to late 70s. These happen to be dismounted French Dragoons. You'll see that the style is definitely old school, but they're still made by Minifigs. Really nice. All the poses are the same, so you're not going to get a mixture of poses. Next group is cavalry. These guys are already primed and ready to paint. This is a group, probably kind of hard to see because they are primed black, but these are elite gendarmes. You get really nice old school minifig sculpts. A lot smaller than the other manufacturers, but again, really nice. And I don't know a whole lot of other manufacturers that make elite gendarmes either. The cut of the uniform is very similar to Grenadiers à cheval of the Guard, except they have a bill on their bear skin. This next group here are minifigs Russian Pavlov Grenadiers, 2 battalions. After the Russian uniforms were changed, this was the only regiment left in the Russian army to wear the mitre caps. And this regiment did eventually become a Guard regiment. Anyway, real unique figures, really nice poses. Again, definitely old school. On these I have the front rank guys with their bayonets lowered, and the rear rank guys in march attack pose. And here's their colonel. Really nice figure. This one is a little different looking figures, and wanted to try to represent all the different lines and get as many different looking uniforms as I could, so thought these looked pretty cool. They look like kind of a cross between, I don't know, they're pretty close to the dismounted Dragoons I saw earlier, but then the helmet's more like it's a Lancer's helmet. Alright, so that's the first pan. These next 2 units are Victrix Russians. Well, this first unit here be Pavlov Grenadiers, but if you look at the equipment closely, it's the satchel style backpacks they have on there, so these would be really suitable painting historically for any Russian Grenadier battalion, because that was the time when they still all had the mitre caps. But I believe that the eagle there on the mitre cap is for the Pavlov Grenadiers. Again, that'd be simple enough to overcome if you want to paint up any battalion. Again, you can see the sergeant here has the spontoon, and they're in march attack pose. Really nice looking officer here with an overcoat, holding his bicorn in his hand, and sword raised, and he's got a bandage on his head. Pretty neat. Here's the officer for the 1st Battalion. And steel wire for the flagpole there. So really nice figures. Here's the colonel. Victrix also. As a side note, you can't get these metal figures from Victrix anymore. They sold the line to Brigade Games, I believe, so you can still get them from Brigade Games. Here's the other battalion of Victrix Russians. These are Russian Grenadiers. You can see still have the satchel style. Still have the satchel style backpack. This is the headgear they adopted after they abandoned the miter cap. Really nice figures. Again, not available from Victrix anymore. You got to get them from Brigade Games. The officer yelling there, the drummer, and they're really tall, rather tall, slender figures, but they're, you know, unique. So they're certainly worth having. Really nice officer here leading the 1st Battalion, thrusting his sword forward, holding his bicorn in his hand, screaming or yelling or whatever he's doing, shouting orders. This next pan has 4 regiments of cavalry in it. This is my Prince August cavalry. I cast all these figures myself. So these are cheapies, but they're old standards. They paint up real quickly. They're nice sturdy figures. Next, here's a regiment of French Cuirassiers. These are home cast, so no frills on them for sure, which makes them easy to paint, and really on the tabletop you don't see much difference. Another regiment of Cuirassiers. Finally, the 4th regiment in the pan, my Prince August home cast. Again, apologize, they might be a little hard to see. These are Scots Greys.